Yay!
Yay, we got it.
It worked.
Woohoo.
And now the video is all weird, so I have to hold my phone at an awkward angle.
Oh well, it's all
I was
good.
like, I'm waiting for an invite. I'm like, I don't know if that's right. So that's what took me so long to get on. Sorry, everybody. So those of you that don't know, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Roberta.
We are teachers and moms, and we both teach other educators to be able to work all day and disconnect from that teacher identity at night so that they can feel more connected, calm, confident, present, and patient.
hmm So we both live in Minnesota, which is super cold and snowing, and we are currently probably going to see our fourth snow day so far this school year tomorrow. It was an early out day today, so that says anything. But we love spending time with our families. We love being outdoors, even in the snow. Like today, we were outside, my kids and I, we were outside in the snow when it was almost blizzarding and just trying to catch snowflakes on our tongues. But Ashley and I are super passionate about taking care of ourselves and that journey of figuring out how to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. So, kind of the whole purpose of this live is to just kind of, for those of you that don't know us, because it's been a while since we've introduced ourselves to you all, and I know we have lots of like new followers and everything, so we just wanted to kind of come in and introduce ourselves. So I'm a mama of two. I am a wife and a 7th through 12th grade shop teacher. So I teach woods and welding, and then I also teach 7th and 8th grade industrial tech. And then I also have my master's in industrial tech as well.
I'm also a mom of two, a 7 and new 4-year-old. Um, Used to be an elementary school teacher, and now I am mostly a stay-at-home mom. That's my focus. Primary focus right now is being with my 4-year-old as long as I can before he starts school, and also a reading and math tutor and an entrepreneur here. Uh, Podcast host with Ashley on our Teacher Mamas podcast.
Yeah, so as both of us are teachers and we have both struggled with taking care of ourselves in the past, and we now love helping other teachers with their own mental, physical, social, and spiritual journey as well. So we're doing other things on top of being a mom, on top of being a wife, teachers, and then, just to help prevent burnout in this ever-changing post-pandemic world of education.
Yeah. So today we've figured out how to prioritize ourselves and our needs, and in order just to be our best selves, our best, the best wives, the best mothers, the best teachers, and we are excited to help as many people as we can do the very same thing, because we don't want other people to have that feeling that we felt. That was very real, that burnout feeling, that icky burnout feeling that we know too well. And so our dream and our purpose here is to help as many teachers and caregivers as we can prevent that feeling.
hmm But unfortunately, like Roberta kind of has already talked about, it hasn't always been that easy for us.
Right, right. Um, Before, we had a lot of the same problems that some of you might have who are listening either live or with the replay. Um, Issues like never having enough time, taking huge amounts of work home. Think about that huge teacher bag and finding ourselves saying yes to way too many things, really overburdening ourselves with too many things, feeling overstretched in all directions, and just feeling like teaching was taking over our lives, and that it just other parts of our lives took a hit because of it, and we didn't know where to start.
hmm Yeah, we wanted to continue teaching. I actually burnt out my first year of teaching, and I stopped for 2 years after that. That was my 1 year and done for a while. That's how burnt out I was. But I wanted to continue teaching without feeling that total exhaustion by 3 p.m. And then also that resentment towards the profession, which I know so many of us are feeling right now, as we're not feeling like heard or taken care of by who we think we should be, like our admin. And we needed practical ways to prioritize our emotional, spiritual, mental, and social needs.
And we really wish that there was a way that we could figure out how to get all of the grading, lesson planning, and all the extras done within our contracted work hours, so we weren't bringing stuff home and having that impact our personal and family lives.
Mm-hmm. But when you're in that burnt out state and you are so overwhelmed, you don't even know where to start.
Yeah, yeah. We felt really overwhelmed just thinking about just how to try and fit like one more thing into our day, like even just researching how to start, that was one more thing. But yeah.
Yeah, so eventually we're going to talk about this more. But before we jump into that, let me know if you relate to any of that. You can put it in the comments below. If this is the replay, you could send us a DM. Do you struggle with finding enough time to get it all done in your contracted hours?
Right. So back to my teacher story here. So
Mhm.
I first really started to notice that I needed a big change and I needed to add boundaries around my career after I'd had my second child. When I had my first, she loved coming to school with me. She loved playing with like the kindergarten manipulatives and had so much fun being there with me. She could like play teacher, and that was so much fun for her. It was fun for me. And so I didn't feel guilt at all for staying late, and that worked out well for my first couple years of teaching. I was a new teacher and a new mom, and that worked out fine. That worked out. But then I had my second child, and I just couldn't stay after contracted hours anymore because I already felt like I was missing out on his newborn milestones, and that was really hard for me. So I didn't want to stay any longer than I had to. But I also didn't want to have to bring stuff home to work on my living room floor after the kids went to bed. I wanted to be able to spend that time with my husband. So it was trying to figure out how can I get this stuff done during the day so that it's not impacting my family life like I had let it before. So I had to fix some things. I thought if I just made the personal rule that I wasn't going to take anything home, that somehow everything would just fit and fall into place. But it didn't. I quickly realized that I needed systems and I needed strategies in place to be able to make that happen. And so I started researching and started looking at other teachers on Instagram, other teacher blogs, looking at like productivity things, and really doing some research there so I could figure out how to maximize my prep times and really getting creative with how I managed my day so that what was important to me, spending that time after school with my family, could happen. So I really learned how to be efficient with my time. And that's something that I bring forward now. And I think not only did those things that I learned help me be more efficient in my time management, it also helped me around my mental and emotional health. So it helped me with not feeling that guilt at leaving stuff. Like we just got done with Christmas break, right? I used to feel so much guilt if I would leave everything at work. Or I would bring things home in my teacher bag. I would set it down in my spot by the door, and it would stay there
Mhm.
until I went back to school. But I would always have this nagging voice in the back of my head reminding me, you need to get this done. You need to do this. You need to get this done. And so all of the personal development that I did and the research that I did, starting figuring out productivity, first of all, led into figuring out how to let go of that guilt and let go of that self-talk so that I could enjoy the time that I had and have a plan in place for when I was at work. And it made a huge difference in my life.
Yeah. Sorry. So, massive frogs in my throat, apparently.
It's winter in Minnesota, y'all.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, like I kind of already mentioned, I realized during many years ago during my first year of teaching that I couldn't sustain the life that I was living any longer. Like I said, that first year was horrible. I was, you guys, I was literally crying every second that I wasn't in front of people. I was crying on the way into work. I was crying on the way home from work. I was crying on my prep. And my admin told me that that was normal for a first year teacher. And I like deep down inside knew I was like, this cannot be normal. This is not like clearly she had something else going on as
Right.
well.
Right.
So, I realized after talking to other teachers, they're like, it's not normal for you to feel this way. So it was clearly like, I was past burnout. Like I was in a very real state of depression my first year because of how terrible it was. So, I would work 12-hour days and then go in on the weekends because of the workload that I had. I had 5 separate classes in 3 separate shops, and then also a classroom to take care of. And then on top of that, I had taken over for a hoarder. So I was just trying to get rid of like garbage and old projects throughout the year. And so it was a lot. Like I was literally just planning 1 second at a time. So, um, you know, I, um, this was the year that I learned how important those boundaries are. And, I felt so out of control with everything. And the one thing that I felt that I could take control of was my physical health. So I started focusing on my nutrition and moving a little bit more. Most of what I did that year was nutrition, though, and I had ended up losing 50 pounds that year just from nutrition. Some of it was also probably stress, but I learned how to eat that year, and that internally made me feel a little bit better. It was something that I could take control of where I felt like I was out of control in every other area of my life. So I never felt confident in my body. And this was the first year that I actually felt confident. I had my energy came back. Um, like I said, I lost the 50 pounds. And then at the end of the year, my position ended up getting cut, which was like, hallelujah, thank God. I was praying for some sort of sign. So this was my sign. And fast forward to where I am now. The school that I'm currently working in is where this pandemic took place. And I started gaining the weight back a little bit after I had lost, or that I had lost after both pregnancies. Make sure I didn't say that wrong. And then with distance learning, so I started gaining it back when I started sitting in front of that computer screen more, because I'm so used to being up and moving with my kiddos all day long. So I joined a virtual fit gym where I took movement and nutrition to a whole new level. Now I'm moving way more than I did even that first year of teaching, and it's just really helped with my strength and confidence even more in what I'm doing, and energy. Like we all need more energy, right? So, this coupled with all the other strategies that we teach in our course has put me on top of the world mentally, physically, emotionally. And I want to help everyone feel as good as I do with this course that Roberta and I created. But before, we have kind of kept this to ourselves, and only shared it with our clients until now. So if you've been following us for a while on social media, you know that we've been really busy working on something for all of you guys. And next week, we are going to be opening the doors to our signature course, This Repels Burnout.
Yeah, but to kick things off, super excited. We are hosting a brand new free class, okay? The 7-step system to thrive, not just survive. And that's for our personal lives and our educational careers. So inside,
Mm-hmm.
we'll walk through like the same system that Ashley and I use, that our clients use, and it's really only what we've shared with our paid clients before, and it's now going to be in a free webinar. So we're really excited about that. So Also, if you're curious about what our course is, attending that webinar would be a perfect opportunity to learn more and ask questions because it will be live. So we'll be answering questions as we go. And so it's the webinar is going to be great. If you're struggling with like finding enough time to get everything done, then this class is really for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also if you're a lot like other teachers and you struggle with saying no,
Like
what is
we
that?
both used to.
No, that's so hard to do, isn't it? Then you
Mm-hmm.
have to be at our class. So more details are coming tomorrow, but let's just stress one more time that this is a totally free class to let you know what our course is all about.
Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, whether you're watching live right now with us, we're so grateful you're here.
Mhm.
Or if you're watching the replay, either comment below or send us a DM and let us know what is your biggest struggle when it comes to getting everything done within your contracted work time. What is that biggest struggle? We'd love to hear more about it so we can make sure to address that in our free class. So again, comment below, send us a DM, let us know what is that biggest struggle. And maybe
Mhm.
even it might not be you. What are you seeing your coworkers? What is their biggest struggle that you're seeing? Because sometimes it's easier for us to see things from an outside perspective. But
Mhm.
we're so grateful that you were here and were watching. And for everyone watching the replay, thank you so much. We are so grateful for you.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching.